Hey, it's Elysia Rotaru, and I'm on Comic-Con Radio with your host, Galaxy.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing in for Comic-Con Radio. Coverage of pop culture events from around the globe. Amazing interviews with celebrities. Daily recaps and reviews of popular television. The Walking Dead. Z Nation. Van Helsing. DC Titans. Flash. The Legends of Tomorrow. Black Lightning. American Horror Story. The Green Arrow. Movie reviews. Everything Comic-Con and fandom from around the globe. Comic-Con Radio. Get ready to enter our universe. Let's go.
What's up, everybody? This is your host, Galaxy, and you're on Comic-Con Radio. And today we have the lovely and amazing producer, actress, and all-around great lady, Elysia Rotaru. Hey, Elysia, how are you? How are you doing today?
I'm so good. How are you?
Amazing, amazing. We're so happy to have you on the show. Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to have you. It's going to be a great chat. I don't like to call it interview. Everybody's like, interview. No, it's a chat. We're just going to talk and we're going to be comfortable and we're going to go from there. So how's your day today?
It's good. It was full throttle as per usual. So, you know.
Usual schmusual, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're from Canada.
Yeah, I'm from Vancouver, Canada.
That's really cool.
And now I'm living in LA.
Do you still go back to Canada, or is just LA home right now?
No, I have two homes, I guess you could say. I'm a little bit of a nomad, split between both. I go back a lot for work and to see my man and family up there. So it's pretty good.
Nice. There you go. Look at that loyalty. I've been interviewing so many Canadian actors and actresses this week. I had Patrick Gilmore. I had Jennifer John. We have Alex Pavlovic coming. It's like amazing. Canada is really booming. I keep saying in every episode, Canada is like dishing out the best actors and actresses these days. What do you feel about that?
I concur.
That's
we're there's good people worldwide, but
Canada's coming up. Come on. Or if it's already been coming up. I know a decade ago, and I've said it before, Canada was struggling, but now it's like the Mecca, especially Vancouver and Toronto and your home city. How do you feel about your home city being so cool?
It's amazing. It's really nice to kind of be out of it for a heartbeat or two so that you can appreciate it in a way. I'm sure we all can resonate with that. Like when you're in the throes of it, it's kind of, you're used to it, sort of, you know what I'm saying? And then when you kind of take a step out, you're like, oh, wow, it's bumping. Like, this is great. Same thing, like, when you come to a new city, like I came to LA and I was always like, oh, LA is the Mecca and like it's bumping all the time. And it is, but it is also like now that you're in it or I'm in it, it's like you have to vibe with it. You know what I mean? It can't be like what's the word I'm looking for? It can't be like a little escapade any longer.
You have to be serious.
Yeah. Like I'm always serious, but it's Vancouver's killing it.
You have such a long filmography. You've been in so many TV shows. A lot of people remember you from different things, but a big show that affected a lot of people, especially in the fandom world and the Comic-Con world, was Arrow. And you were there on season 4. What got you into acting?
I don't know, a lot of things. I love the craft, and I've always been a performer. I mean, I was a competitive pianist since I was a little kid, up until my late teens. I've always been on a stage. I was, in dance. Didn't really pursue that, obviously. But I don't know. There's something that just about performing and entertaining people that I think I've always enjoyed. I still haven't quite articulated in words yet what that feeling is. It's just a really great way for me personally to just dive into the different aspects of like what I am and what I can be, right? And share stories and share them with people, and hopefully have them, affect people in different ways. So I think that's maybe what it is. Like, I just love it.
That's it. You just
hard,
love
it's
it.
hard. It's hard. What love is in words, but yeah, I'm obsessed.
We can hear it in your voice. You got like very deep and
Oh.
emotional, and it's like you're like, I love it.
Well, I'm actually just secretly trying to pull up my thesaurus to find words, but
Whoa,
yeah, no,
yay.
it's great.
That's cool. You got to do what you got to do, right? That's a cool thing about radio. Nobody can see what you're
Right.
doing. You could be like just chilling and, typing things and coming up with words, or someone's typing things for you. When you found out you were going to be on the Arrow, were you a fan of the Arrow first before you got on, or was it just by luck?
It's hard to say like that I was a elitist fan of Arrow exclusively. I love the comic book world. I'm not like a super like high tech comic book geek. So I mean, if someone were to quiz me on stuff, I wouldn't really know. But I love that world of superheroes and comics in general. So Arrow was, one of the new shows that the CW brought into Vancouver. It was always the talk of the town, right? Because they were doing crazy stunts and all this stuff, and Stephen Amell, who's from Canada as well, is the lead, and like there was like a lot of awesome positive talk around that show. So when I had a chance to audition for it, I was excited, and then I was also kind of like, whatever. Like, you can't really hang on to a lot of your work post audition. So yeah, like I was pumped. I'm always pumped to have an audition, right? So for that show too, I was like, sweet. Let's see what happens.
And you were there the entire fourth season, which is pretty great, and you lasted the whole season, which is something not a lot of people do, especially coming into a season as a certain character for that scene, which was Lian Yu. And you were a great, I could say, supporting actress, or you made that whole season go by, and Stephen Amell was like hot over heels over you. Well, the Arrow, Oliver Queen. And
Thank you.
how did it feel working with him? How was it?
He was phenomenal. I mean, you hear talk about people because you've never met them, and then of course, when you meet the person, it's maybe totally night and day, right? And with him, and what I mostly do in my life is like I just try to meet the individual as they are. I try not to creep on them too hard before or really listen to stuff. I just want to meet the entity and the energy that I'm working with. And so when I met him on day one, it was like right out of the gates, he was phenomenal. Like, so lovely, really respectful, just super supportive of me being there. And through the time and my arc on the show, it was just, it turned out to be a really nice camaraderie. I was texting him or emailing him at one point, asking him just like, yo man, like, what do you think about this? And it was just fun. It was collaborative and great, because I kind of got him all to myself in a way, because he was the only lead on the show that I was working with. If you think about it, like, I didn't have scenes with Emily, or Katie Cassidy or anybody else. It was just stuff with him.
That's it. It was just the both of you doing those great scenes. And at the end, when, you just vanish from the face of the planet, not vanish, but, we all know what happened.
Right.
So many people were sad. They were like, oh my Lord, they wanted you to go into season 5. It was
Right.
Yeah, but
Well,
it is what it is. But you do so much more than that.
Mhm.
I didn't want to I know this is Comic-Con radio and all our fans want to know about Arrow and this and that, but you do so much more. You were in iZombie as well. How was that?
That was rad. That was actually my first time ever shooting a pilot episode in my career. And it was a one-off, but it was so fun because I've never been able to really open a series before. So that role was cool. Also, the back end of it was fun because they, I think I'm allowed to say, or I don't know if I should say, but they ended up kind of adapting the character's ethnicity and background to accommodate mine, which is Romanian. Because I believe the audition for that role was, I think they wanted like Polish or something like that. But I was like, yo, I'm not Polish, but I can speak Romanian. Do you want to do that? So
So you're a Romanian
that's cool.
background, right? Your background's Romanian.
That's right. Yeah, both my parents are from there.
So you were born in Canada, like you said, but they're from Romania.
Mhm.
So you speaking that
Mhm.
language, that's pretty great because you fit these roles really well. The roles you play fit you so perfect.
Thank you.
And
Thank you. That's up to casting too. So thanks.
is that because you're also a producer, so you know what to look for?
Well, that actually came later. I only started producing officially a couple of years ago, to be honest. I got invited to hop on board as a producer for a short film that a colleague of mine, Daniel Baker, was shooting and directing called The Wall. And I also starred in it as well. Short film, it did really good in the festival circuits. And then the same year, my best friend, one of my best friends, who is a producer and a showrunner, wanted to shoot a project with me completely behind the camera. And I was excited and nervous as shit because like I didn't know what that was going to be like. I've never been fully behind the camera in a role like that. And yes, it was a short film, but it was still, we had big intentions for it, which we fulfilled. So it was, I'm still learning. Like I've only done 2 things so far, but they've all been successful projects and award-winning projects. So hoping to take a stab at that later in my career, more so when that opportunity comes.
Is it easier getting like roles now that you live in LA, or was it easier getting roles when you were in Canada?
Kind of both. I've been very blessed. Things have taken a different trajectory over the last couple of years. My voiceover career has completely expanded and diversified, so I play a lot more in that world now. And I can't say why or am upset about it at all because I'm dually obsessed with voiceover. So, I mean, it's, yeah, like I'm working in both countries. It's a dream. Like, it's a dream. Like, I know I sound like a moron right now because I feel like I don't have language, but it's because I'm still shocked, you know, like, wow, I'm doing it. You know, something that you put on your vision board from when you're a kid or when you're starting and it's happening. So it's cool.
When you're on set, do you sometimes like say, "Oh my God, what am I doing? My dream. I'm like in my dream job." Is it amazing for you?
Yeah, I usually have that moment like almost after I wrap a project in a way. You know what I mean? Or when I get the initial call that I booked something. Like that, I have my 2 pinch me moments, and then when I'm working, like my head is to the ground, and I'm like, you know, don't bother me, like I'm working. So yeah, it's kind of cool.
The focus is on, you're just focused, and then after it's all done, because I talk with a lot of actors and actresses, and they say that even though I get a role, I have to like, I'm superstitious or I'm this or that. Are you that way as well? Because they're so afraid that they might get cut out?
I don't know anymore, man. Like I used to have this thing, you know, where like, yeah, maybe I was a little bit superstitious in my, it wasn't even superstition. I don't know what it was, but I was just like, oh, I'm not going to tell anyone about my auditions or blah, blah, blah. And then I kind of, over the last few years, I was just like, I am going to tell people because people are like, what are you doing? How was your day? And I'll be like, oh, I had an audition. And then they'll be like, oh, what for? And if I'm allowed and it's not, you know, an NDA project that I can't speak of, I'll say it. Like, I don't know. I just kind of, it just helps elevate the energy, I think. And even if I talk to people that are, who knows what their intentions are, you know, like maybe they're like malicious or whatever. I don't really care. It's just like, yeah, like this is what I do. This is my career. This is what I do for a living. So here's a day in my life. Like this is what I auditioned for.
I think since you're so far in your career and you've been doing so much, it's good to share it. I know sometimes you have to sign forms and contracts, but I think it's okay. I think people sometimes they just want to know and they're intrigued.
I am totally in accordance. Like I always want to know what other people are doing with their careers in a way. Like I know I have friends who are lawyers and I'm like, what do you do? Like, what's your daily like? Like, what happens when you get up and go to your office or do you go to an office? Like, I love hearing about what other people do too. So I think it's only fair for me to express as much as I can from my career. You know what I mean? Because it is a different path, like, and it's a weirdly socially celebrated path, right? Being an actor, quote unquote. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's like this little bit of like of course, the word celebrity to it. And it's different, you know, like it intrigues people. But I get intrigued by like my friend who's a plumber. Like I'm actually like, what do you do? Like tell me, you know, like tell me how your day went. Like what happened with that pipe? Like how did you get that out? Like I don't know.
What happened with the pipe? Did you get any cool stuff
Yeah.
out of the drains, right?
Yeah. Find a ring? Yeah.
Well, you do it every day. They're probably intrigued with you. They're like, "Oh my God, you're acting." You know, everybody's intrigued with everyone else, but that's cool that you're
Yeah.
that way. You're still like zoned and down to earth, and you know, it probably has to do with your upbringing and your background. Because a lot of people that are kind of like diverse in backgrounds, I've noticed, more humble and more cool like that. And the cooler, the better. And I see your resume. It's like Eureka, you know, Smallville, Supernaturals, and then you got your recurring role on Hellcats. What, like, you know, you played Betsy on that. How was that? It was just like boom, boom, sci-fi, sci-fi, sci-fi.
Yeah, it was cool. It was, I guess you could say it was like actually just early on in my career when all that just started happening. I mean, I started acting late professionally. Like I graduated university around 22. And my career started at around 23. So taking all of that in, it's funny hearing you say it because I'm like, I just turned 34 last week actually. And it's,
Happy
you know,
birthday.
over 10 years of me doing this. Yeah, thanks. And, you know, I've been in it for a decade and had and have, and hopefully will continue to have a lucrative and an abundant career. And it's, yeah, I mean, like Hellcats was my big first recurring, and that was rad. And that was for sure like, whoa, what's going on? Like, what am I doing? How do I navigate this? And once again, I found myself in a really great ensemble of people that, you know, were supportive and encouraging and fun.
That's amazing. I really like the roles you went into. It, you know, early on in your career was a lot of sci-fi, and then all of a sudden you went to Diary of Wimpy Kids, and then you were a guest star on Motive, and then iZombie, and then your voiceover stuff, which was on Disney XD's, you know, Droid Tales. And how was that? Because that really probably lifted you up in the voiceover world.
Yeah, it's been so magical. I mean, I'm probably like, yeah, I can't even, like, I'm constantly working in the booth, and I love it so much. Like, now that I'm here in LA, my team down here has introduced me to a new aspect of voiceover, and there's so much. Like, I'm so blessed. I know this sounds so corny, but like #blessed, it's true. Like I just ended up booking like amazing stuff this week for some really great shows that are going to be airing, and I would have never thought that would be possible. You know, so every day there's like something that's coming in that I'm like, whoa, this is rad. You know, like the fact that I auditioned for Big Mouth once or a Robot Chicken spot, I was like dying. You know what I mean? Like I almost geeked out more over that stuff just because I know the community of voiceover is so small and very, very tough to break into. So it's like, that's still something that my eyes pop out of my head about, you know, like that these things are there now. Like I'm reading for these, I'm being heard for this. So it's kind of cool.
That's what I like. I like the voiceover world. I'm trying to like get into that more now, but like you said, it's pretty tough, you know? It's a long road.
It is. And I think it's also just a matter of like, you know, how are you ever going to give up? And I don't think that I do. So I just, you know, like I'm always trying to knock on doors, you know, via my awesome team, and just keep my ideas alive with them as well. Like I'm very communicative with all my team, and, you know, kind of talk to them about maybe goals I have. I guess you could say they're goals or just ideas, and see how they can help produce, you know, and how they can help incorporate that and bring it to fruition.
That's so cool of you. You're just like on a path. No, don't give up. Strive to the top. kick the
do
doors down and make it happen. It's just that cool situation that you're doing all these things. And, you know, I heard you teamed up recently and you're working on a new kind of 90s horror comedy.
Yeah, so that was the short film that I produced with my production partner, Steven Sachuk. We finished it. It's out. It's in the festival circuit. It's an international award-winning short film. Yeah, we're hopefully going to go to camera soon on our next project. So stay tuned.
I know you can't say anything about that. You got to keep a secret, right? Mum's the word on that.
Yeah. It's not. We're not ready to talk about it just yet, but except that it is coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. A new project's coming up, and Elysia is gonna bring it to fruition pretty soon. Who do you go to when you need help with acting? Is there someone a go-to?
There is a woman in Vancouver that is my go-to. Her name is Deb Podowski. She's so talented, so honest. I can't express how amazing this woman is. She's been doing this for a very long time. She's actually represented by my agent in Vancouver as well. And I don't know, there's just something about her that I'm obsessed with too. Like, I use that word a lot because maybe it's a Scorpio quality, but she just kills it. You know, she gets stuff out of people that I don't know if they would get from anyone else. Do you know what I mean? But then again, I also train with as many people as I can because I like to keep it eclectic. I like to see what I can learn from other people. I also like to learn from life, right? So there's a lot that I kind of try to use in my work and source out.
So you go to her for that guidance and she brings it out in you. And is there anyone here in LA, like any actor, actress, or coach that you kind of like, oh my God, I need to go to this person to just do better?
Oh man, I wish I had somebody down here. I do, but I have, you know what I do is like I call up Deb. I Skype with her. I haven't yet found a guide here in LA. Mostly because I haven't been in the city for like a long enough period of time because I've been going back to Vancouver for work. So, you know, I haven't been able to hop into a class down here yet and really get bossed around by anyone. But I really hope that happens soon because I'd really like to just jive with some comedians, maybe, you know, and get into that world a little bit more so because it's most definitely not a category or genre that is very prevalent in Vancouver, in the film world, if I can say that. I mean, we don't have sitcoms in Vancouver. We don't shoot that very often there. So, you know what I mean? Like, I do want to train down here with some pretty funny and smart people. So we'll have to find out where they are.
Well, hopefully somebody's listening and they're going to give you an email and be like, I'm here for you, but hopefully they're not a creeper.
Well, you know, creepers be. That's okay.
Uh-oh. I had to creeper your account. I had to like look up all your projects and everything. I was like, that creep. When you mentioned creeper, I was like, hey, that was me like 2 hours ago trying to find out everything, all your projects.
Yes. Don't worry, man. I'm a creeper too. I mean, like, I should really maybe be a PI.
Oh boy.
I creep deep. I creep deep.
That's cool.
If needed, I will.
Uh-oh. Is that the Romanian in you?
I don't know what it is. I'm just like, it's also this idea of social media, like tappy tap, 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 tap. You know, you end up in like someone's family lineage, like, you know, like uncle, like displaced uncle, like fifth generation cousin, and you're just like finding out stuff about people that they don't even know. It's so bad.
Oh boy, yeah. I don't really do that. I like to kind of like just know them for that. I'm like, I don't want to know. I want to just know them for who they are. I love them the way they are.
Legit, yeah. It's happened to me though. Don't get me wrong. 2 hours later, I'm like, why am I looking at this guy's cousin's uncle?
Cousin's uncle's goat from Scandinavia.
Yeah. So weird.
Third
Such
cousin removed, and you're like, whoa.
Totally. Yeah, it like sucks you in.
And you're like, whoa, that's them. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's like Black Mirror. Like legit, that show is like Did you ever see that episode where they talk about the cell phone stuff? And you're like, oh my God, you're so true.
So FIFA, you have this cool project with FIFA. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was really fortunate to book an amazing role in FIFA 18. And it was just a voiceover in the video game. And then FIFA 19 came out, and you got to meet Beatrice Villanova. And she is a super agent. She is in the story mode with Alex and Kim Hunter there. And she is like the boss babe. So it was pretty fun bringing her to life and being in a Velcro suit covered in reflective balls with a camera pointed at my face for hours on end. So that was that. Like, I was really, really stoked, and I'm now embodied in the game forever.
Now you are the game for the rest of time and time and time and time.
Hopefully. We shall see.
That's cool. You picked some projects. Like, look, you were in like Diary of a Wimpy Kids. You're in like all these sci-fi shows. Now you're in like a video game. Mm-hmm. It's like you want to get everybody from every angle.
Yeah, you nailed it, man. Like, I always had a vision that I just want to be as global and eclectic as I can with my work, and as versatile as I can, because I think it's a good quality about me. Like, I can do a lot of stuff, and I'm fortunate that I can. But at the same time, it's also a little bit of maybe not a negative thing, but it's a challenge, because I play in so many different areas of the craft. So, you know, there was a point where I was like, oh my God, am I gonna have to choose between like voiceover and on camera? No. And I was like, I don't want to do that. I just want to like be able to do it all. And so far so good. Like, I've been supported in whatever's been coming, and, you know, scheduling issues sometimes occur, but it's a good thing.
It's a very good thing. It's very good that you're working. Yeah. You're actually, you know, it's becoming a regular thing. So when you get these major roles, who's the first person you tell? Is there a first person?
Oh, yeah. My man, Ryan. Like, he knows right away. He's like, I mean, we text monologues to each other if we're not in the same city together. And even if we are. So he's my number one when it comes to that. And he's also an actor as well. So it's really rad and so fun that I have somebody on my team that's also my lover and my partner and my best friend that I can, you know, share those moments with, where they understand, right? Like, they really understand the craft and the work and the behind the scenes of it. And then from there, I mean, of course, my agents know, like, duh. But in terms of, you know, the other people, it would be him, and then that's kind of about it. And then, you know, if my mom calls, I'll tell my mom or my sister and a couple of my best friends. But he's the guy. He's the number one.
That's good. And, you know, like you said, he's an actor, so he understands the ups and downs, when you're sad, when you're happy, when things are going bad. They're not there, oh, my God, what did you do now? They understand the business, right?
Which is, you know, I laugh about it now, but before I said I don't think I would ever be with an actor. I don't think I'd ever, you know, be in a relationship with someone that was in the same exact field. And, you know, 4 years later, here we are, killing it.
There you go, the both of you killing. Isn't it cool that you live in LA right now, but you get the free round trip tickets back home?
Sometimes, yeah. It is. It's I just had this conversation with a few of my friends, because I've been traveling a lot in the last few months, back and forth, and you know, the glory of traveling back and forth for work almost diminishes a little bit, just because it's like, okay, what do you pack now? Are you doing carry-on? It's like the first world problems, you know what I mean? Like, oh, what's the weather like up there? Because it's always a little bit, you know, colder and rainier up there, and here it's chilly, but it's sunny. So it is, yeah, it is. You know, I love having these conversations with people like yourself because it gives me that moment to be like, oh shit, yeah, like it is a dream come true. That is concurrently, happening in my life as we speak. So
It's a chat interview and a psychology session with Galaxy and Elysia right here on Comic-Con Radio. You studied psychology, so you should know what's up.
yeah. Well, I almost majored in it, and then I dropped out in third year because I hated statistics. Anyone who knows me knows, like, me and math were like not the best of friends.
The budgeting is going to be tough when you're producing stuff.
Dude, man, that's why I have a production partner who does all of that. That's what Steven does. He kills it. I just do the other stuff that he kind of like, he's like, do this, do that. And I'm like, okay, thank you for teaching me, oh wise one.
Steven, let her do everything. Steven, please let her do everything. You just do the math, buddy. That's it. And all good. You don't want her Romanian to come out. I have a lot of Romanian friends. I know what's up. So, Steven, if you don't know Romanians, I know what's up.
Well, he is Ukrainian, so.
Oh, there you go. Wow, what a partnership. Don't mess with the two of you.
No. And don't give me vodka.
Yeah, right.
Oh, man.
A Ukrainian and a Romanian producing films. One's a math whiz and the other does everything else. What an amazing duo. That's better than Batman and Robin.
Oh, well, he is Batman and Robin. I'm just a sidekick. I don't even know what I would be like the little Robin.
You would be Robin Jr.?
Yeah.
That's funny. You also studied traditional Chinese medicine. What the hell is that? What did you do there?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I realized, I'll backtrack, but I realized after I dropped out in my third year that it was kind of a little bit for vanity. I love learning. There's no way around it. I love learning. I love going to classes. I love being taught. I love being, educated on like stuff that is something that you can utilize in your life to maybe better it or, God, like save somebody one day, And what happened there was I was working at a medical clinic in my early 20s up until like, mid 20s. And then I always had more of like holistic approach to medicine through my family, and how they looked at the body as well and healing and things like that. And then I signed up to do my reflexology certification. So I'm actually a certified reflexologist as well. And then I wanted to take it further where I was like, man, how can I be more helpful to other people? What else can I do that doesn't involve me going to med school? And then I decided to pursue Chinese medicine because I was getting acupuncture done and taking herbs and stuff. And I was like, man, I want to know more about it. And so that's what happened. I dove in deep and really excelled at it. And in my third years, when I booked Arrow, and I kind of really had to make a choice because there was no way in hell that I was going to be able to study documents and pages of materials and then go do an exam on a human body and then go to set and then study pages and pages of script. And then, you know what I mean? Like I was living two completely different worlds that needed 120% of my energy and attention. And it wasn't working. So I kind of took a step back and talked to one of my professors, and she said to me, she's like, are you actually going to have a clinic? Like, are you actually going to have a practice where people come and seek help from you? And I'm like, you know what? No, like there's no way I'll be able to just let acting die and just fulfill this path of being a doctor. And that's what it was. I had to put it aside, and who knows, maybe I'll come back to it later when I'm older. I don't know, but then I also kind of had that moment where I was like, oh man, I think I just did this because I wanted the knowledge. You know, I don't know if you've ever had that moment, or you're like, I just want to be really good at this and know this and just have this. Like, you know, that quote, knowledge is power. I think that's what it was. I was like, yes, I know all this weird shit that can help you and myself. So, yeah.
Who can say that they studied psychology, you know, Chinese medicine, was on the Arrow, and also worked with Danny Trejo?
Oh, my God.
Right?
Love him. What? Talk about bucket list YOLO moments. I hope we get to meet again or work with each other again. What a freaking legend. Like, wow. I'm that for sure. Yeah, I was just like, oh my God, this is happening. This is so cool. And I get to play your daughter. Like, how wild and crazy. And thank you, universe, for acting and, you know, making make believe come to life. But yeah, he is so cool.
He's a real deal dude, you know? And how was it like acting with him? Because, you know, he has a past and he was a hardcore person in real life.
Oh, yeah. He's the nicest, most humble man I have ever worked with so far, who's been around for a very long time. And I mean, acting with him was hilarious. Like, he was so funny and lighthearted and cracking jokes and shooting the shit and working. Like, you know, hauling hours on set, riding a buffalo, getting blown up, you know, riding horses. Like, this guy, he's my dad's age. He's 74 and he is still like giving her. The energy and the drive in him was so formidable and so inspiring. I was just actually looking through photos of our shoot today, funny enough, but yeah, he's great.
I read your mind, huh? I read your mind. I was in your mind earlier today. I zoned in. I did
my... Or you were creeping my Instagram.
No, actually, that's a great idea. I actually didn't. I actually sat down in the Chinese sitting position, and I closed my eyes and I said your name, and Danny Trejo popped up in my mind with a big mustache, and I was like,
perfect.
Elysia was his daughter. Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
I almost forgot that. And that was Tombstone. What was that? Dead Again and Tombstone, something like that?
That's right. Yeah, you got it.
Have you been to any of the Comic-Con events recently or any of them?
Yeah, I've had the luxury since being on Arrow. It's been, once again, like another pinch me moment where I've been able to travel parts of the world, and I'm actually going to be going back to the UK, hopefully in March, for another Comic-Con event. I haven't been able to attend the Comic-Con in San Diego or the one in New York just because of my scheduling, but it's so wonderful. I love going, and I love meeting everybody, because if it wasn't for the people that are watching us do our work when it's out, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. So there is nothing that gives me more joy than being able to say hi to people that are like, you know, want to meet you or just talk about, you know, what we talked about earlier, like your work, like how do you do this? And I love it. Like, I love doing panels. I love giving people an insight into this weird world of being an actor. It's just so cool. Like, I'm just speechless all the time about it, because it's something that I get to do, you know, and it's very, yeah, like, I don't know. I have like no words to express how happy I am
seem
about it.
so humbled by everything. Like, I could hear it in your voice. Like, you're so grateful for what you're doing and what you have. It's so amazing to hear that coming out, because it's rare to hear that, and it's nice to hear that.
Thank you. Yeah, I have been made fun of for saying grateful so many times, but it is, I think, the only word that it, you know, barely encompasses these feelings that I have, because it's tough. Like, doing what I do is tough. You know, I'm not an A-lister. Yeah, I'd love to be one day, sure, but it's, you know, it's a long haul, and you have to, I don't know, I think you just have to find something in it that keeps you there. And like I said, I don't know what it is for me yet. I just really love it. That's about it.
And also, sometimes it's the right place at the right time, I think, because you have the talent. Yeah. You're amazing. You're humble. You're appreciative. But it's just the right place at the right time. No one, I think, in Hollywood's better than the other. You know, I just think it's just who you know, where you're at, and that's how it happens. And I've noticed that a lot. Legit, what do you think about that?
Yeah, 100%. For sure. Like, I 100% agree with that. It's, I was talking to my girlfriend the other night about this idea of luck. It's not so much about being lucky. I mean, maybe unless you're playing roulette or whatever, but I think you do have to be prepared. You have to have your skill set behind you to support you in those moments when someone is there to help lift you up and forward. And that is something that I have had ingrained in me since I was a kid. Train, be prepared, do your work, do the behind the scenes shit that no one really talks about or sees or gets glorified. And then the other stuff happens. But yeah, it's also taking that step to say yes sometimes and to say no. But it's this whole combination, right? And it's also, I think, a big thing about where your head is at. Are you aligned? Are you ready? Are we ever ready? And I think you're always going to be ready. I hear people talk about, oh, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet. I'm like, you're fucking ready. Just go for it. Trust your gut. Trust all the stuff that you've been doing to have you come to this moment. And then when that moment happens, just, go balls to the wall, let it out, stay grounded, stay focused, stay supported and have fun. You know what I mean? Be you. And then hopefully, fingers crossed, there is that person there or those people there that see it and you vibe, and there's so much going on. There's so much behind the scenes stuff going on that you can't control. So it's just, you just got to be you got to be on it. You know what I mean? And then be able to relax.
And then take it in and go,
yeah,
I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in the door.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true.
It's cool that you understand that. And there is a lot going on. There's so much of it in other people's hands that you're like, okay, even though you did amazing, but it's just, I tell everyone it's just so much that it's controlled by so many people. You don't know what's going to happen. But that's cool that you understand that. And you did all this behind the scenes stuff.
You asked earlier about producing, and I'm not going to lie, getting the opportunities to produce these 2 short films has, I think, rewired my brain and my system to really fully understand that side. As an actor, you don't get told stuff. You don't get why you were quote unquote rejected. And that's hard for a lot of people. It was hard for me. It still is sometimes. But for me, I now use it as fuel. I'm always telling my team, what's the feedback on this? Where did we get? Is there anything I can do within my work to be better for next time? And sometimes, I'm going to say 98% of the time, the answer is no, nothing. You nailed it. They dug you. It was just something else. And then you look and see who's cast or whatever, and then it kind of all makes sense a little bit. And then, another project comes and then it's yours.
And you're like, that bastard got my role.
I think I've only had 2 moments like that in my whole career, really, because there's something about it for me where and yes, producing has helped, like I said, in casting and being on that side of the table and being friends with casting directors and directors and producers. It does bring a different light to the table, but I never have really had that energy. I just saw a girlfriend of mine at an audition in Vancouver last week when I was there, and she just came off a big TV show. She was one of the leads on a show called Take Two. And we were just talking about that of and we were auditioning against each other. And it was just so lovely because I was like, girl, if you book this, that's rad. I'm so happy because I know you. I love supporting my colleagues and my peers, especially if I really know them, because it's so fun. You know what I mean? I know, and they were really, and there was probably something in their essence that was just right for that role that maybe I didn't embody. And that's what makes it so fun because we're all unique, and as much as I can do a really good impersonation of Tina Turner sometimes, on a karaoke stage, I'm not going to be Tina Turner. You know what I'm saying? So
can we hear it?
For me, it's fun. Yeah. I'm your private dancer for money. Do what you want me to do. How was that?
Whoa, that was I
right?
closed my eyes and I was like, Tina,
right?
you embodied it. That's great. That's amazing. That's cool.
Wait till you hear my Celine Dion.
Let's see it. Come on, let's do it. Let's do karaoke now for a few minutes. Let's do some karaoke.
Oh God, dude, that's your other show, right?
That's why I'm going to use these clips for that. But no, come on, let's get it out. Let's get out the karaoke. Let's get you to do it.
Comic-Con karaoke.
Comic-Con karaoke. Well, we would love to have you at one of our meetups or one of our major events. We have some crazy stuff in the works. We're actually planning the first ever fashion show. We're not going to name the name, but we're going to be releasing it in a few months. We're going to do it during Fashion Week next year, and it has to do with cosplay, and we want to get some celebrities like yourself involved. So we're doing some cool stuff.
Amazing! That's really exciting. And cosplay, hello. Have you seen some of those costumes these people make?
They're so intricate.
Please invite me. Please invite me so I can be there.
You will be there. You're number one. You are number uno.
I'll host the karaoke segment, okay?
Oh, that'll be so rad. I'm going to hold you up to this. You watch.
Oh, my God. Dude, I'm there. That's so great.
That'll be so fun to have you karaoke in cosplay and meet your fans. They're going to go nerdy.
That'd be rad. That'd be so cool.
Well, that's what's up. A lot of these guys that go to the Comic-Con events, I tell them all, you lucked out because a lot of the cosplayers, some of them dress really intricate and costume, but some wear these outfits that you're like, wow, it's such a treat. And some of them look really hot too at the same time, guys and girls. And you're like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God. And like some people that I talk to, they spent years making one costume and then they do it again. Oh, and I'm just like, wow, what a fun outlet. What a fun outlet for your creative juices, I think.
Oh, yeah. They spend years and they take that time. And then the amazing part of Comic-Con events are the meet and greets are really great. I love how it's grown to that more in a lot of the major Comic-Cons where they could meet, Elysia, they could meet, Steven, they could meet so-and-so or, whatever actor, actress. I think that's an amazing part because you get this connection and it brings you guys closer and it makes that world so much more tighter. Do you feel that way?
Always, yeah. Like I've sat in some panels where there are like celebrities and the fans it's so cute because they just go gaga over this individual and they almost forget why they're there. Like to meet that person, and it's so cool to see. And I've also seen people meet each other at Comic-Cons that like haven't physically gotten to meet each other before. And that was like their meetup, and it's so cool. Like it's very surreal. It's very surreal. There's so much energy in the room. I can see why some people could get tired, but like it's so rad.
Oh, yeah, and it's grown. Look at New York Comic-Con. New York Comic-Con went from 50,000 people to 250,000 people.
I know.
Ridiculous in 1 year.
It's cool. What else can you say? It's mind-blowing. Like, you got to be ready. Like, I feel like if there's anything you got to be ready for, it's like those Comic-Con.
Well, I have
like bring your ginseng, keep your brain active.
Bring your ginseng. That's cool.
Bring your ginseng.
You should have like a Instagram page or something with your medicine stuff and every day give tips on what to take to Comic-Con. That's a good idea, right?
Oh, God. I would, but I'm not a doctor. That would be so bad. I could holler at some of my friends, though, that did graduate and do have their practice alive. They can kind of consult.
Ooh, yeah. Take your ginseng before you go to Comic-Con so you don't wipe out and do this and do that and then come to my booth so I can meet you. That's what you would say.
That'd be so fun. Yeah, I'd love to go to some cons in Asia one day. Maybe that'll be more popular if I do it there.
You will. You just got to want it. Here, together, I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to be like, okay, all the Comic-Cons in Asia, you have to bring Elysia out. And if you don't,
nothing bad will happen.
Nothing bad will happen, but...
But,
you'll be sad and you won't have Elysia. That's it.
Yeah.
You're working in a current movie project too, right? Cold Pursuit. Is that like current or with Liam Neeson or what's up with that?
Yeah, that's coming out. I think that's coming out next year, actually. I don't think it was fully shot in Canada, but the role that I shot out, the scenes were actually quite local to where I live in Vancouver. And I think I'm only maybe like one of 5 or 4 female cast members in the film. So for me, that was really wonderful to book that role. It's a smaller role, but she was fun. I got to play a little diner waitress. I can't wait to see it. It's based off of a film from the Netherlands. I mean, the script was so wonderful to read, and I can't wait for you guys to see it. I can't wait to see it.
We can't wait to see it, and that's coming out next year. That's great. Any new projects coming out recently? Anything you're on right now that you want to like just say, hey guys, tune in, watch, or anything that you want us to watch?
Presently, I actually will be voicing some of the Victoria's Secret fashion show, I believe.
Ooh la la.
And so that's cool in the voice land. And I'm working on a video game. I mean, the one that's out right now is called Echo Combat. I have a few other films that are actually coming out next year. One of them was directed by Josh Duhamel, called The Buddy Game, starring him. And oh my goodness, what is her name? She's stunning. I'm like having a brain fart right now. Olivia Munn is in it. There we go. And then I actually star in another indie film. I don't know when we're going to actually have that out on release, but it's called Killbird. That was a blast filming. I filmed it back up in Canada over the summer, and it's like a psychological action thriller. Can't wait to see that too.
That was probably fun because you studied psychology, so probably you were like, oh, I studied that in school.
Yeah, I'm using my degree.
This is the moment we got to run because it's crazy. She's going to kill us.
Well, you'll just have to wait and see.
So on social media, I know if anybody wants to shout out to you, your Twitter, Instagram, do you want to share that with the fans out there?
Yeah, it's just at Elysia Rotaru across the board. You can find me on all platforms that way. And then soon you can find me on YouTube. Making some fun content for that, showing tidbits of a different aspect of my life there. But for now, Instagram's the best way.
And you could also go to ElysiaRotaru.com for your website where you have a whole bunch of cool stuff there, right?
You got it.
You got that. And we would love to bring you on. You're amazing.
Thank
You're so
you.
well-rounded. You're down to earth. I love chatting with the Canadian peeps. They're so awesome. And there's a lot of them in our sci-fi fandom world. So we appreciate you, Canada. We love you, Canada, for...
Thank you.
Right? Producing so many lovely people like Elysia.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Oh, that's so lovely. Thank you so much.
Hey, and she promised us that she's going to come to our events. So mark your calendars. It's going to be coming up. And also, we have our Comic-Con book coming out. My book's coming out. It's about the Comic-Con world. Yes.
Oh, dude. Hi, send me a signed copy, or like maybe I can get you to sign it in person one day and video it.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's so cool. That is amazing.
Cool.
Wow.
When I hear your voice on this side and I don't look at your picture because we have a big screen here and I'm like, the picture's off, I can hear you in so many different roles. Like I hear you like doing so many things.
Thank you. Thank you. That's an awesome compliment. I'm taking it.
Yeah, like cartoons and voiceovers and car commercials and like all sorts of different things, games. It's just sky's the limits. And we would love for you to succeed right to the top and blow up in the universe and just take it over.
Thank you, man. Well, I will keep you posted because I do actually have a little Marvel cartoon that I have been working on. So when that comes out, keep your ears to the ground.
That's it. We're going to do that. Is there anything else you want to shout out to everyone or say about Elysia before we go?
I just want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for creeping, and I hope I get to meet the majority of you one day.
And you will. And at the end of every show, I do this. I say, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy with Elysia Rotaru, and we're signing off Comic-Con Radio, and I blow them 10 kisses. Love you all, and Elysia loves you all too, right, Elysia?
I do.
There you go. You guys got a kiss from her. Save that. Put it in your pockets. Thank you guys for listening. We love you. You could catch us on comiccon-radio.com or at Comic-Con Radio on social media. Elysia, thank you so much. You're lovely. You're amazing. We wish you tremendous luck and right to the top, and we'd love to have you back, and we can't wait to keep working with you in the future. Thank you. We love you. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a wrap. Peace.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Tune in for your daily shows of Comic-Con Radio. Go to comicon-radio.com. Reach us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Comic-Con Radio. You can call us toll-free right now. 800-976-0305. 800-976-0305. Comic-Con Radio, taking the world one listener at a time.